The PEC education helped me in my classroom to show me the real life example of what it's like for my biology class. How's the wildness, the flowers, and the animal reproduce in such a harsh environment. They don't have enough water supplies and stuff. So it's show me the real definition of what biology is. When I went to the old mine where I found 90 million something seashell and bone skeleton that was in there, and then I realized that place was used to be a sea. It was really surprising.
On the trip, we met a really famous photographer, and we took some pictures of insect too, and we showed them to him, and he was really impressed by it. And that was really nice because when a really famous photographer likes your picture, hey, what else you want? There were really small flowers and wild berries, and I took those pictures, and those colors are really unique and bright. So when I came back to home, I saw the pictures and I got idea to use them as a pattern in my fashion design. When I create a cloth, I'm using this pattern as a new design, and it's kind of like inspired by nature, and it's really unique.
They get to know a lot about nature, about insect, about plants and wellness, and it's a really good opportunity for them to explore that field.
Yeah. And not every students are interested in biology, so but I'll encourage you to go there because like me, I'm using all the stuff in art and fashion design too, and I'm also interested in biology. But if you're not interested, you like photography and stuff, you should go there because there are so many stuff that will give you a new idea, like a unique idea to create other stuff. When we went to the class after the trip, we showed them all the shells and flowers and bones and stuff, and they were jealous, like why we didn't went there. And then I showed them all the pictures to Mr. Cashin and all my classmates, and they were like, okay, I should have went there. Some of those things that you're really grateful that you did. I'm in Permian since 2 years, and last year, I've never been outside of classroom. It was like studying classroom and kind of like boring. You know, you're studying stuff, yeah, you're understanding it, but you don't know what's going on outside in real life,
Yeah.
which is related to the topic that you're studying.
We have to change what we're doing in the classroom. It's not our grandparents' classroom anymore. It's not rows and columns anymore, and that's not how our students learn. So the excitement that PIC Education is coming in, taking the time, bringing in the resources, bringing in the experts, bringing in world-renowned photographers to talk one-on-one with our kids is amazing. It's an opportunity that they're not going to have in other situations. So what I've seen in the kids that have gone on these field trips and had these experiences is they're coming back and they're making that connection between what's written in a book and what's told by a teacher to what they saw and they felt and they got to experience in real life. One of the benefits that I've seen from PIC Education is not only are they bringing these experiences to the classroom to the kids, but they're also bringing it to the educators. I had the opportunity to search through soil looking for shark teeth, opportunity I would have never had before, and I'm pretty sure I got the $1 million tooth there somewhere. But we got to turn it in, we got to put our names on a little vial, and somebody somewhere is going to look at what we did. And so it's got me inspired and me excited about what I was doing, and I'm going to take that back to my students and let them have that opportunity. So PIC Education is really working to educate the entire district, the students, the teachers, everybody from the top down, that we got to change the way we do school. I'm so passionate about what we're doing with this because everything that we're seeing in education and what really is valuable for our students to truly learn information is the hands-on experience where students are engaging with their world around them. And that's what really develops that inspiration, that creativity, wants them to know more. They start to look at, well, if this, then what's next? Invest our time and invest our resources in changing education.
What I like about PIC Education is when we go outside of class, our creations are not limited to classroom, like the things that you see in classroom. But when we go outside, we go to ranch, and we search about some stuff. Yes, definitely there is gonna be some stuff that you've never seen before, and you wanna know about it, and you wanna know more and more about it. That what is it? Why is it doing like that? Why is it still alive in that weather? When you go outside, you feel it. That's when you get question, and you wanna know the question. You search about it. You get interested.
Yeah,
You
makes
get
a
to
difference.
feel it, you get to touch it, you get to explore it.
Mhm.
It's better than reading a textbook.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Uh-huh.
How was this snake different than what you have touched before with a snake?
The one that I touched before, it was big and it was smooth, but this one was like rough skin,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like a dry, because we know Texas weather is kind of
Mhm.
like
It's really
dry.
small.
Yeah, and it was really small, and I think that was a really cute snake.
Yeah, yeah. And this was your first time to touch a snake.
Yeah. As for I noticed that snake only adapt in like a really wet and dry environment like Asia, because a lot of snake is in Asia.
Mhm.
But it's interesting how in Odessa it's such a really dry and cold place, and there's still snakes survive. And then yeah, it was interesting.
And it makes sense because there is like a sand and thorn and stuff, so their skin has to be
Mhm.
like thick and rough so they can
Yeah.
Right,
move.
right.
Yeah.
So you're able to feel and experience that this snake has this kind of skin because it has to adapt to its
Yeah.
environment.
Yeah.
And so you're experiencing that, which is right in alignment with when you look at standards and state standards and TEKs and things like that.
Yeah.
When they talk about adaptations to environment, you got to actually feel it and touch it and
Yeah.
understand, okay, this is why.
Question asked. The photographer a lot of questions. He showed us a lot of different things I never known before.
There's such a value in making these connections, and a lot of times as educators we think of we're the resource for the students. And what I have been able to experience with my two friends here is I have one from India and I have one from Cambodia. And so they are now my resources, that if there's things that I want to learn from their countries, I get to go to them. And so that information web and how it connects together is not just teacher to student, it's us together. And there's so much value in that.
Yeah. And what I like about it is when I got to know, like in the last 2 days, I guess, and then you started talking about the interest that you have, and we got that comfort zone that I started sharing stuff with you, and I actually really like that we got that comfort zone where
You get to
we know, you get to share the knowledge that you have.
exchange knowledge
Mhm.
to
Like-
each other.
Yeah, you're not
Absolutely.
scared of them, even though they're adults. You're just like friends.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think one of the things that we as educators have to rethink is we kind of think, oh, we are only going to take the best kids or the ones that are the best behaved kids on these activities. And we didn't shoot to do that. Although the two girls that we have visited with are wonderful students, we also took students that have struggled in a traditional classroom. And we did not have a single behavior issue the entire time with all of the PIC education trips that we have taken. So I think it's important that we really start looking at why our kids are misbehaving. And I think a lot of times we go back to the root of the problem being that they're just bored. And it's our job to make learning engaging for them. And there's no better way than to open up that door, get outside, and start learning things, get the kids engaged.
I wish school was like that always. And I'm gonna send that pictures to College Board for my final AP exam.
I'm gonna say that people, you don't go there. The biggest mistake you made in your life.